Hello everyone, this is Tristan here from 𝗠𝗔𝗥𝗞𝗘𝗧, and today we are looking at Bitcoin. I'll be going over the technical analysis starting from monthly all the way down to 4 hour and see where we see price going for the upcoming week and the end of the month. So let's get started. So with the monthly time frame, I would like to start with the monthly time frame. With monthly time frame, we have this push down over the past year, and then this was the push up since January that we have been looking at, and this was a minor pullback that we did see in the month of May. And in June, we have another bullish candle, which is actually covering the high of, or taken, almost swept the high of April. So that's done. At the moment, price is looking bullish, trying to get into the buy to sell wick up here. So now let's start with the analysis in a way that we range the price out and then we dissect it from there into the small time frame to get a better narrative. So when you look at price, you're looking at this swing high, then low. This low was taken, and then price pushed up. This high was taken. We capped out around here, and then price pulled back. So for us, this range will become the most active range, and this was just swept. We don't have a body closure, so I'll just remove this and we look at 50%. So looking at this range at this point in Bitcoin on the monthly time frame, we do see massive bullish price action, small pullback. We have not reached the 50% just yet. We rejected off in the fair value gap, mitigated the bullish order block or the doji based on small time frame, and then we started to push up. We have had a minor sweep of the highs from April, and then we are just around here. We still have 5 more days to close the month. Looking at further onto the left-hand side of BTC, we have three bearish candles and one major imbalance that's fair value gap that still remains to be mitigated. So that is an interest zone for us if price starts to gravitate further up. And this was also mentioned in the previous market update I did for Bitcoin. So please do check that out just to get a better idea of referencing. But I'll still cover all the areas that are required and necessary for us to interpret high time frame narrative. So this current swing is the one that we looked at in the previous video. This will be a drawn liquidity eventually if we want to end the month by tapping into this, and I would like to see a mitigation and then maybe a rejection down in to the back into the range. Or if we start to gravitate towards the upside, this fair value gap will be the area that will get filled up. But this is not on the cards at the moment because we still do not have any mitigation of those areas. So just keep that in mind. Also, it is a monthly time frame, so that's something to consider. But not to overcomplicate things on the monthly time frame, this is what I'm looking at. Simple as that. Price range, pullback, pushing up. Now we may see a pullback and then go into the fair value gap before we further dump, or then we just continue pushing up. Either way, we will work with what we have. This minor push down gives us a narrative that okay, price is coming back down to fill up some buy orders that will get distributed further up, and then maybe more sell orders will get filled to continue the price down. So dropping down into the weekly time frame, what do we have? We'll just fix the chart. And weekly time frame, we do see that last week was a massive bullish week. We had a lot of buy side liquidity that was generated in the previous market update. We were expecting this fair value gap to be mitigated for further mitigation onto the low side, but we didn't get that, which is totally okay. Price does what it does. So we did have some sort of mitigation in here, and then we pushed up. Now we do have a sweep of these highs that we look at. So for now, I'm just going to mark this as So this one right here. What do we have? We'll have to push this down here. This whole area of price action, this what we call it as this is the manipulation phase. So people were expecting further price down. That's why a lot of sell orders were filled up here, expecting for lower prices, and that's when market just took everyone out here with this 1 week of price action, taking out all the buy stops because we were reaching a bearish order block around here. So based on SMC analysis, this was a narrative. Just do that too. So this was a narrative that they were saying that this will get filled and then we may see further price action. We did see some push down into the range, and then this was one bullish candle that took out all the buy side. So that's something that we should be very careful of. We should never firmly work with structure. And looking at fair value gap around here, we didn't have a 50% mitigation of the fair value gap, which is still in the premium of the monthly time frame swing. So in SMC analysis, what we normally do is that we would like to sell when we are in the premium and buy when we are in the discount. So we would like to short when the price is up here, and we would like to buy or long when the price is in the discount. So that's something, it's a very basic concept in SMC and in any sort of trading, that if you have a price range, you would like to sell high and buy low. So there would be no point for us to start looking for longs around here. If we were looking for push up around mitigation around here for further push down and fill up this fair value gap. And this area, 50% of the monthly range, was also an interest zone for us, which was an important area that price was looking forward, people were looking forward to add to their longs, but unfortunately we didn't get that. We just had a mitigation of this high and then we just left. So overall, price is looking very bullish, but also we are coming into an area where we will have trend extortion eventually. Price at the moment, based on just one weekly candle, we can't set a narrative like, okay, what will happen in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So we just work with what we have. So this high was taken out around here, so we just make that just dashed. So this will be just, the reason why I'm picking that is because this was the last high that pushed the price down. We swept the equal lows, we didn't have any body closure, and then we had a bullish price action around here. Price pushed up into the bearish order block, started to come down, and then we mitigated the high, where basically all the longs were opened up around this order block, and then price pushed up. So in SMC and ICT analysis, this becomes a bullish order block. So that was an interest zone, and that got tapped. We pushed up, but just this is in hindsight, so of course anything can be said. In my previous video, I was looking for further price down into the range and then push up, or we were just looking at price to push up. So we did have this bullish price action which took out the buy side. That's pretty much it I do have on the weekly, but on the daily we do have a lot more confluence, and we can start to look at what price action will likely do for the upcoming week or the end of the month. So there we go. This was the fair value gap that we marked out on the weekly. We didn't have 50%. This was the high on the weekly, and this one can just become a weekly order block, so we can just make it. That's it. So the weekly order block was tapped. On the daily, we do have sell to buy wick around here. So this was our important flip zone just around here. Sell to buy. And we had a 50% mitigation of that sell to buy. So on the daily time frame, what do we have? Looking at price action, we had all this relative equal highs, all this buy stops resting above here, trying to push the price down, cleared, and which left us with a lot of imbalance on this side, a lot of fair value gap on the bullish side of the price range. So if we start to see a rejection of price action, we may see further mitigation of these internal zones into into this area's further deep discount, and then we push up into the fair value gap for a further push down, or then we start to accumulate and then we go higher, take the highs of the fair value gap, and then we go further down. But those will be the areas that we have in mind, around all the way around $37,000 to $38,000. That price can eventually go up to that area. But right now, in that 1 week of bullish price action, we have two important zones that we can mark out in the current swing. So based on the swing analysis, we can just mark off this as the high. This is the low. This is the potential high. At the moment, we do not have a confirmation that this is the high. For that, I would like to see some bearish price action, and then displacement, taking out the lows with conviction, and then respecting those high supply order block will make us believe that, okay, this high is in, for us to start looking for long continuation into the price action for mitigation of this fair value gap eventually. But we have this, and this was the most recent high that was taken out, so we can just mark that off as this. But it's not necessarily a break of structure. We do not have a body closure. I would personally like to see a body closure, a strong bullish body closure above the high to convince me that yes, we do want the price still wants to go further into the premium of the zone. But these two areas are of important value, and we can come down, mitigate them, and we can look for continuation on the upside. And looking into micro time frame, micro time frame, dropping down into the 4-hour, what do we see here? This was the daily fair value gap. It's the low, high, and on the 4-hourly time frame, the price action looks like we are reaching a point where we are seeing some bearish price action, but we are still respecting the lows. So I'm not overly too convinced that we are just about to reverse. But if we see massive bearish price action, where we see bearish candles, black candles just forming right around here, or mitigation of this area, and we see price action like this, something like this, then I would look at continuation into the upside, mitigation, drop down into the deeper zones or further down, and then we can look for longs eventually, because I still do not believe that the high is in yet, because we do not have a body closure on the daily. We do have a body closure on the 4-hour. So higher time frame drawn liquidity still is pending. We are creating a range around here, and also this is inducement for price, because price has not tapped a significant POI, but we are just inducing early buyers. So we'll just mark that off as inducement around here for people who are like, okay, yes, this is it, and price will continue going up. We'll start longing, and then we may see some bearish price action just like this, but we are not sure just yet. So I would like to see some displacement candles taking out the low. First indication will be somewhere around here, so we'll just use this tool, it's easier. So if we take out 30,000 with conviction and closure of the body, we do have some relative equal lows around here. And if we also take out this low, which we had a tap into the daily fair value gap, price pushed up, so which means that we do have a lot of buy orders here. We have explosive price action after we have a tap here. So if we have if we have a strong closure underneath it, a different story. If not, we can look for continuation, and price action will dictate what it wants to do going forward. So that's on the 4-hourly. At the moment, I'm not looking for any entries just yet, at least not for reversal entries. So we had a fair value gap, which we had on the 4-hour, which was fully mitigated all the way to 90%, and then we pushed up, but we have weakness. We don't have massive bullish candles around here, and we can also use the Fibonacci retracement to mark out our reversal points. So if we're using just a premium and discount zone for this range, so this was the low that took out the high, so that high and this low stays intact, and this high will get taken, or if this high gets intact, this low needs to be taken. So this is the range. These are the two areas in the discount that we are looking at for continuation to the downside. Internal swing liquidity will be taken for further upside, or we can just mitigate these areas to continue targeting up if we have bullish price action once we reach this area around like this, and then we just start seeing bullish price action. So that's a different story, and fair value buying will be happening, and this area will just stay open. We go mitigate fair value gap up here, and then all this area will act as a very good liquidity point for further price down into these zones. So that's something that I'm looking at for Bitcoin for the upcoming week. We are in Sunday at the moment, so let's see what happens on Monday. And yeah, just work with price action at the moment. We are too overextended for any entries, but just be careful out there. Let price action dictate your entry models, and then manage risk accordingly to have a favorable outcome of any trades that you enter. Until then, I'll speak to you guys next time. Take care, and I'll see you then.